Nate and his daughters, Mira and Nora, are in South Africa to visit their late mother's village. However, the family's relationship is very strained at the moment, and it just doesn't seem to be working. However, longtime family friend Martin, who works as a game preserve warden, for lack of a better term, is willing to take him on a safari through a rather restricted area of the preserve. However, the fun soon comes to a screeching halt when the group encounters a rogue lion who is on a path of vengeance after its pride has been killed. The lion has slaughtered entire villages and has made its way through several poachers as well. It seems to be just killing anything that moves, and soon it gravely injures Martin, leaving Nate and his daughters to have to fend for themselves as their vehicle is precariously perched on the ledge of a cliff. When even the briefest of lifelines seems to just be severed by this lion, the family realizes they need to band together and work through everything if they are going to try to take down a beast. So yes, this is Beast, which is, I'd say less like Jaws with a lion and more like Cujo with a lion, especially given the way the characters' relationships are playing out. Because, as I said, this family is very frayed at the moment because basically Nate's wife, Nora and Mira's mother, died of cancer, and Nate and the mother were going through they were just about to go through a divorce when she got diagnosed. He had moved out of the house, and so it sort of came across to the daughters that he was abandoning the family when they needed him the most, and he's tried to explain to them on several occasions that, look, your mother and I, we weren't working out very well. You know, had I known she had cancer, I wouldn't have left her. You know, that caught me off guard too. I have had to deal with the fact that, you know, I still had feelings for this woman, but they were changing, and maybe, you know, not being together was going to be best in the long run before suddenly realizing that we weren't going to be together ever again. And I admit, it was kind of my folly in that I wasn't, it seemed like I didn't care, but I actually did. But they just kind of seem to constantly be fighting through it. Both the daughters are teenagers. Mara, or Meredith, is the oldest one, and she's kind of closer to a college age at this point. She's interested in photography like her mother was. And then there's Nora, who's, I'd say, more like 15, and is responsible for a very awkward moment in the film where she flirts with Martin, who is basically supposed to be a contemporary of Idris Elba's of Nate. He and the mother were longtime friends, and he actually introduced her to Nate because they had met in university. Yeah, they were college buddies as well. So, yeah, like I said, Nora suddenly tries flirting with him. I was like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. Like, later on, Mara does flirt with another, I'm calling them game wardens. I'm not sure what their actual job title is. But that character is at least a little bit closer in age to her, so it's not quite as uncomfortable. There's also, like I said, an undercurrent of poaching. There's a group of poachers that, again, killed this one lion's pride and set it on this path of destruction. And, you know, and there's also a bit of a secret with the idea that Martin is an anti-poacher who goes out and shoot poachers before they can shoot other animals. And, you know, that's kind of it about it, though. That's a plot thread that just doesn't run as well as I thought. The vein was just not as rich as I think they thought it was, because it should have been. And I think they wanted it to be a little deeper, but it just didn't quite work out. Like I said, if you ever saw the movie Cujo, based on the Stephen King novel in the early 80s, it's very much like that, where there's kind of an interesting story there, but you kind of have to sit there and wait it out through constant attacks from this animal. And, you know, the lion attacks are very well staged. They're very, you know, they're depicted very viciously. You see the real wounds that happen when a lion swipes at someone and knocks them down. And, you know, it's revealed that, you know, they can try to trank this thing at one point after it injures Martin. All they have is a tranquilizer gun, and, you know, it takes 3 attempts, and even then it's supposed to take the lion down for at least a couple hours, and it maybe does it for about 30 minutes. That's how hell-bent this lion seems to be. And Yeah, and then outside of that, there's one little plot point involving lions and how a pride treats an intruding lion from a different group into its territory. But yeah, and that does obviously pay off later. But yeah, unfortunately, that's sort of the drawback of the film, is it's just really not strong enough for a whole feature film. Really, again, you're just waiting in between animal attacks, and what's happening in between the animal attacks is just a lot of the same thing over and over again. Again, that's a criticism of Cujo as well, where you're dealing with the family that's just in dire needs. However, in this case, the family is not dehydrating like in Cujo, so you don't quite... it's not as long as that, so you're not in the exact same vein as that. Like, overall, though, there are decent performances. Idris Elba and the two actresses who play his daughters, I unfortunately don't remember their names very well. I think one was named Leah Jeffries, but yeah, they're overall pretty good together. But again, other than that, there's just not a hugely compelling story. It's just, wait for the next lion attack, wait for the next lion attack, which, again, are really well staged. The action sequences are well done. Like I said, character interactions are good, but this isn't a movie where you need to rush out and see it in the theater. I am going to give Beast a C. Like I said, it's not terrible. If you catch this on streaming at some point, you'll probably enjoy it, but there's not a lot of meat on the bones here. I don't know if that's meant to be a joke or not, but like I said, it's okay. It's just not spectacular.
Detroit. What a vital and exciting city. A city that won't stand still. But what if in the midst of all this hustle-bustle, suddenly a man collapsed? A heart attack. He stops breathing. Would you know how to save his life? I'm Doug English from the Detroit Lions, and I'd like to show you one way the people of Detroit are saving lives. It's called CPR, a volunteer program of the Red Cross supported by the United Way. CPR is short for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Knowing how to administer it could mean the difference between life and death to someone. I recently lost a member of my family to a heart attack. That's why I know the importance of this program. That's a lesson we all should learn. And this is just one of the hundreds of United Way programs made possible by your support. It works here in Detroit, and it works in your town, too. Thanks to you, it works for all of us, the United Way, right?
Right.
Sorry if I'm really sweaty during this. It's been really humid outside, and I have to turn the fans off to record, so... yeah. Anyway, it's trailer time, and again, I'm doing something new with the trailers where I'm just going to recite all the ones we got and then touch on any ones that are of interest or of note. First off, we had Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, then Barbarian, then a re-release of the movie Jaws for some reason, and then a new movie, The Invitation. After that, we had Tickets to Paradise, The Woman King, and Halloween Ends. Basically, A Ticket to Paradise is the Julia Roberts, George Clooney movie where they're a divorced couple who is flying to try to break up their daughter's wedding. It's a rom-com, so I wholly expect they're probably going to get together by the end of it. I know I've covered Barbarian before, but I cannot remember what it was, what the plot of it was. I admittedly kind of, only caught like a tail bit of that trailer for some reason. I came to the movie very late, so some of the trailers had already started. The Invitation is a new one. That is a movie about a woman who, does like a Ancestry.com or 23andMe test and discovers that she has a long-lost cousin in England who seems to have some sort of wealthy financial status. And it turns out it's an entire family of vampires. Like, she herself is not a vampire, but it seems everyone else is. After that, the re-release of Jaws is kind of confusing for me, as it's not really an anniversary year for the film. Like, the 45th anniversary was a couple of years ago, and it's another 3 years till the 50th, so why? And you're doing it in September, when, it's the movie most associated with summer blockbusters. You know, again, nothing against Jaws. I love Jaws. It's a great movie. But, yeah. And this is in 3D for some reason. Halloween Kills, or Halloween Ends. Yeah, I'm confusing the two sequels there. I think you all know what that is. What was it? The Woman King. That is about Viola Davis is leading a female African military that's representative of one of the last empires to stand up against colonialism in the 18th and 19th centuries. So, yeah, that looked pretty interesting, pretty cool. And, you know, Black Panther, I mean, not really much to say more than that. So, yeah, those all looked good. So, yeah, like I said in the previous video, the next video is going to be the Random Trade Memories leading into episode 200 of the Random Trade Review, covering the Infinity Gauntlet. That's two different videos I'm talking about there. After that, it's going to be WWE Clash at the Castle. And then you have episodes 2 and 3 of She-Hulk I'll be covering. Obviously, at the end of September, Star Wars Andor comes out. I'll be doing something else in September. I'm just not entirely sure what it'll be yet. So, see you all next time. Hey guys, remember you can request a movie or a television series for me to review at my Patreon at patreon.com/CPTime for Cat Productions. Also, remember to like the video, comment, share, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you can be alerted to further videos.